I grew very, very tired of what I thought was the age we were living in, the age of Americophobia, that America had opened up its shores to immigrants such as myself and had allowed them to achieve their aspirational identities, their dreams that were forged in the crucibles of childhood. Some came as adults. I want to thank America and Americans, who I think are among the most exceptional people that I have met, to really thank them for one simple thing, for just granting me the opportunity of coming here to make something substantial of my life, because I think that immigration is not really a right, it's a privilege that's conferred on an individual by a country. And when one is the recipient or the beneficiary of such a privilege, I think in a spirit of gratitude, one has a responsibility to say thank you. And the magical thing about America, which I wanted to thank Americans for, was that America says you can rewrite the script from scratch and make yourself into anything that you want to become. And I knew that I had certain goals and ambitions that I wanted to achieve. And America has brought me where I am. I've become a philosopher, I've become a successful writer, and a teacher, a professor, and found love along the way, which is always an added bonus in one's life. So I wanted to say thank you, and also never take your country for granted. You live in an exceptional country that has bequeathed. You're the legatee of something quite magnificent. What astounds me is, and I must add, being a professor of 25 years in the classroom and having taught at 5 different universities, I am astounded at the degree of racial progress that has been made among the races, even at my own university, DePaul, to see the level of interracial dating, to see just the platonic friendships among different racial groups that are formed. Going by the Pew statistics and surveys, something like today, 84% of Americans do not disapprove of mixed marriages. So because I don't think that, and I think empirically this is tenable, and it's provable, one can show this, that because race is not the sole determinant of one's destiny, and that we have made remarkable progress and success, that it is not an ineradicable part of our DNA at all. Is it going to be something that is contentious and messy as we strive towards greater fairness and kindness and dignity with which we treat each other? Yes. But I have great hope for America, because I think that, as I said, and we have overcome, I think Americans by and large are a fair-minded people. They're not driven by bitterness, aggrievement, or envy. If you really, really work hard, what has surprised me is the extent to which most Americans have responded with joy and glee at the success that I have achieved, rather than with envy or rancor, which you might find in other societies or other communities. And I think if we return to old-fashioned individualism, where we protect individual rights, we treat people primarily not as members of groups, but as individuals in their own right. As Martin Luther King said quite correctly, you should judge a person by the content of his character or her character, not by the color of his or her skin. So I think a return to old-fashioned individualism, where we do the very, very difficult work of getting to know people as individuals, not just as cultural fixtures, but as individuals, is one. I think we've strayed from that route. I think we've lapsed into sort of identity politics, both on the left and the right, unfortunately. And I'm a good old-fashioned capitalist. I think, it was capitalism that saved America. It was capitalism is the political and the moral system in which America was founded. Many, many blacks fled the South, not to some sort of grand panacea in the North, but to the capitalist North, which offered them a patina of hope, some semblance of hope on which to build a better life. So I think, unlike socialists who think that expropriating the agency of other people and that they can tell you what fair share they have to someone else's earnings, I think that adhering to a system of free market enterprise capitalism, which uplifts all individuals and will uplift, I think, black people and allow them to achieve parity with their compatriots, it's among the best hope that we have for race relations in this country.